All right, welcome to Overcoming Self-Doubt. This is something I still struggle with, but definitely in my younger years, I would really beat myself up over analyzing everything, overthinking everything. Um, so go back to a little story. So I grew up in a small town, right? Not very many kids. I think what, like 300 in my high school, something like that. And I was very like shy. I was the funny kid, the nice kid, whatever you may be. But like deep down, I was very shy and timid still, as weird. And if you know me, you're like, what? I don't get that. But I feel look for that validation to please people. But was I truly happy with myself? I was chasing being a people pleaser. I didn't want to say no. I didn't want to let people down. And how I overcame this was I was able to implement things that added positive value within my life, right? And now it's the gym. I journal daily. I'm trying to implement reading now. I'm trying to produce content to others because I know I'm not the only one. You spend how many hours a day probably just subconsciously going through the motions. And when you don't take a step back and look at the big picture. And this can be something like I try to do. When I was overthinking, I'm like, okay, I'm thinking about this person. All right, let me put them in their shoes. I want to be in their shoes now. All right, they really don't care. Nobody cares. You could go outside right now, go scream at the top of your lungs. People may give you a funny look, and you can go back inside, and I guarantee you tomorrow, they're more concerned about what they're doing, what's on their plan, and what's their roadmap for the next year than what you did yesterday. I actually want you to think, what did you do this time a year ago? Do you remember? I really can't remember. I was probably chilling, maybe watching YouTube, something like that. And once you start thinking like that, instead of overthinking, it tends to open a whole nother realm of just your shoulders lifting, peace in a sense, and what also helped me was I started to pray to God more. I became more devoted in being a child of God, a disciple. And if you are a believer, I just ask you to at least read the Bible. If you haven't and you just don't believe, or you kind of been struggling, if you can, just pick a page. That's what I did. I just opened the book, boom, read it. All right, I didn't get anything from this. Okay, boom, read it. A different verse, boom. And then eventually, it was weird. As I started reading this would happen in high school, I started to correlate certain situations that came up in my life. Oh, the Bible has said this, yada, yada, yada. Oh man, I can kind of correlate it. Did that? Oh, that. And I'm not very good with Bible verses, memorizing them. But what I found is all your answers are in the Bible. They really are. Everything's answered. All these books that, like 48 Laws of Power or Stoic Man or like some self-improvement one, you can find all that in the Bible. It's just the books are able to numb it down and summarize it in a way that, they can make it. At least that's what I'm starting to pick up as I'm reading. And so, you know what? God's going to put us through painful situations. So when I was trying to overcome self-doubt, I would be put in a situation where I had to present in front of like the class. And even that, I'm like, I know all these people. They all know me. Why is it so hard to present this stupid like presentation on like sickle cell, whatever it was, and or I was talking to just regular people, like, oh man, am I saying the right things? Or even to a girl like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna just say the wrong thing and then she's not gonna find me attractive. All right, so be it. So be it. Because if you think about it, a lot of it comes back to energy. We all wavelengths and stuff, and people within the 5 seconds already know if they're gonna like you or not, and you shouldn't have to worry about that. Because how I look at it, I add a lot of value to every person's life. Every person I come to contact in with, I want to make their life better, and I do make their life better. I don't make it worse. I add positive value, and if people don't see it in the front end, then that's their loss. So I want you to start thinking like that. It's their loss, not yours. You have so much value, so much potential, and some habits to really help you grow and start taking the necessary steps is, like I said, journaling. oh my gosh, having that clarity, letting all your thoughts down, letting your gratitude down, because I didn't do that a lot. And maybe that's why you overthink too. I didn't give myself enough credit where it's due. And if you're struggling with that, go find a book. You can literally go get a Barbie doll journal for all I care. Something to write stuff down for the day. Try to do it daily. I do it Monday through Friday. And then I take the weekend off. Sunday I start back up. Another thing is just put yourself in uncomfortable situations. If you're struggling to talk to girls, just go pick one. You don't even have to find them attractive. Because I do that. I'm like, oh man, I have to find the most attractive girl. Oh man, I find her attractive. I don't know if I want to talk to her. She might not find me attractive. And then you start overthinking. Just go talk to them. What are they gonna do? Bite you? No, they don't. Most of the time, they might think you're weird and be like, okay. They actually find it weirder if you stare. You're just like, oh, and they're like, we'll go this way. Like this guy looks like he's about to, whatever. Just be human with them. I think that's like the hardest thing you can do is just trying to internalize they're just people. Don't put them on a pedestal. Because honestly, you start doing that, you're gonna push them away. And I still am struggling with this. I'll be honest. I'm open about it. I struggle with it because I start to internalize it. My overthinking brain, that self-doubt, be like, oh no. But you gotta set that aside. Every guy, everyone goes through it. Every girl, every situation you put yourself through, somebody's already felt that. So just continue to put yourself in those situations. You'll realize how much more value it'll add if you just do it than you don't do it. Because if you didn't do it, then I guess it's just not gonna happen. And lastly, just praying daily, right? Taking the time to spend time with God, your quiet time with God. Like if you're close with your family or not, your dad, like you want to be able to be open and honest with them because they're your family. They want what's best for you, and I hope you want what's best for them. And when you don't take the time to text them or call them, in this case, like praying to God or just going to Him with all your issues, you tend to put up the weight of the world on your shoulders. And when you do that, it becomes almost impossible to handle certain situations, but once you give it to God, you let battles you are facing are no longer your battles. They are God's battles. And once you're able to internalize this and sit down and just talk to Him as a human, give Him everything you're grateful for, thank Him, give Him all your issues, you just take that weight off your shoulders. But that'll do it for some self-doubt, overcoming it, and becoming more mentally strong, get that mental fortitude. Look at me, I can't even talk today. Mental fortitude, and just keep going. But I'll see you guys and gals in the next one.